Hi, everybody. Well, it seems like we're moving on from what I was calling the blush rush, where it was blush release after blush release. And now we're in foundation nation because there has been yet another foundation that just dropped. This one is from Makeup by Mario. I just did a review of the new Natasha Denona foundation, and then this guy showed up. I did do a wear test with this yesterday off camera, and I do have some observations I want to share with you, but we'll try this on today. We'll talk about it, and I will get another wear test in. So this is the Makeup by Mario SurrealSkin Natural Finish Foundation. This is a very beautiful bottle. I do have to say, it's gorgeous. It's heavy, not too heavy, and it's got a nice frosted, beautiful glass that is a little bit thicker on the bottom. I don't know. I think it gives it a nice effect. It's a very nice looking bottle, and I just like the way it feels when I'm holding it. Let's quickly go over the claims of this foundation. It's a natural finish, not shiny, not overly matte, weightless, medium coverage that's buildable, 16-hour hydration. It claims to have all-day shine control and is sweat and humidity resistant. It is fragrance free and is meant for normal to oily skin types. It does say it's non-drying and provides hydration throughout the day. It's supposed to smooth and blur everything. It's supposed to be a second skin, like you're not wearing anything. Mario describes it as your natural complexion, but enhanced. So let's see about that. This is $48 US or $70 Canadian, and I chose the shade 8N. Oh, and I forgot to mention, you get the standard foundation amount of 30 mils or 1 fluid ounce. It says to shake well, which I will do, and then I want to show you the consistency, but I also want to show you this shade. So it is quite runny, which I love. Points there. I'm not sure if this is the right shade for me, but what you will notice, my friends, is that it will not remain this color. Oh no, it will not. This is going to oxidize in pretty quickly. So I'm gonna let that sit for a second, and then I'm gonna do another swatch next to it so that you can see the difference of a freshly applied swatch versus one that has been sitting for a few minutes. While we wait for that, I just do want to say that it feels very, very nice, and it is a very lightweight formula. It's not heavy at all. I think like it's only been maybe a minute, and I just want to show you that it has started to get darker and darker. You'll notice this much more once I apply another fresh swatch next to it. But even now, I'm sure you can see it's looking more and more and more like a match, at least on my hand. Okay, about 3 minutes have gone by at this point. So I'm just going to put a little drop right next to the initial swatch so you can see what the difference is. Look at this. This is quite the difference, would you not say? So please bear that in mind. I mean, it's something. When something oxidizes, A, it's very hard to choose a shade. B, you never know what you're going to end up with. That's something to definitely keep in mind. It might not be something that deters you from this foundation if you love the way that it looks, but it makes it really, really difficult to choose a shade, especially if you're in store swatching, because you don't realize that that's not the color that you're going to end up with. That's not the shade that's going to be on your face. So when swatching, if you're in store, give it 3 or 4 minutes so you can see if it actually will match you. So yesterday when I tried this, after the initial change in the shade, it didn't continue to get darker and darker. It was just during that initial dry down of the foundation, and then after that, it remained that color. So it's not something that will oxidize more and more and more throughout the day, not that I noticed on my face anyway. Before I get to applying this to my face, I do want to do a shade comparison to the Natasha Denona just so you can see, in case we are shade twins. I think that would be really helpful at this point. Now, I'm going to take the Natasha. Here's my Mario swatch there. And right next to it, I'm just going to put the same amount of foundation, as close as I can get it. This is the Mario, and this will oxidize. So we'll give it a second so you can see. But right off the bat, they're so different. This is the Natasha Denona in N7. It looks so much peachier in comparison to the Mario. Just for reference, hopefully this is helpful. And you know what? I think I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna apply the Givenchy next to the Natasha, and by then the Mario will have will have oxidized, and we'll see what the actual 8N will look like. So here's the Givenchy that I love so much. It is a serum foundation, just like the Natasha Denona. There's no mention of the Mario foundation being serum based, but still I think this will be a helpful comparison, hopefully. That is the Givenchy in 3N. Actually, you know what? I have 2N as well. I'm gonna add 2N. I'm gonna add 2N next to the Givenchy 3N. The 3N I was wearing in the summertime when I had a little bit of a tan. 2N is more my winter shade. Ooh, what a difference there. That's crazy. Okay, I didn't even realize what a jump that was from 2N to 3N. Okay, so here is Givenchy 2N, Givenchy 3N, Natasha Denona N7, and Mario that's now blending like you can't even see it on my hand in 8N. So that is oxidized at this point. What a wild range of shades. Wild, yet they all work for me. Oh, one more thing I want to show you. I'm just putting another swatch of the Mario on right now. Next to the Mario concealer. I'm wearing it today and I wear shade 200. And I just want to show you next to the foundation, if you happen to have this shade in the concealer. Please let me know if the comparisons to the concealer are helpful. So this is the concealer in 200 right here. And here's the Mario foundation in 8N freshly swatched. So this will get darker, but they work together really well. If there are any other comparisons that you'd like to see, please send me a DM over on Instagram and I can easily send you a little video of the swatches if I happen to have the shade you're asking for a comparison. So just let me know. I'm happy to do that. All right, let's get this going. I am going to prime only one side of my face to see if it makes a difference at all. When I wore this yesterday, I didn't wear any primer, so I do want to test that out today. This is my Tom Ford Soft Matte Primer, and I should say I have normal skin, sometimes dry, sometimes oily in the T-zone, but not consistently, depends on the time of year. Right now, my skin is very normal. Oh, I forgot to mention, so I have nothing on my face today other than my eye makeup and the concealer. So it's the Mario concealer in 200, and on my eyes today, I used the Mario Master Mattes, the original one, not the neutrals. I hadn't used it in a little while and I missed it because I love that so much. And for a little sparkle, because I felt like some sparkle today, I added just this sparkly shade from the Moonlight palette. So it's all Mario up here, and now we're going to get Mario all over the face. So while the primed side is settling in, I'm going to apply on this side of my face, and we'll do a side-by-side comparison and actually see what it looks like on first application and then what it settles down to after it oxidizes. All right, let's start with one pump. Ooh, look how runny that is. I like that. BK Beauty 101. Just get that on the brush and we will start applying. Even before it oxidizes, it's so very lightweight that the shade, the original shade, seems to work as well. I don't know what is happening. It spreads really nicely. It feels nice, and there is definitely no glow to this, but it's not matte. So when he says it's not shiny or overly matte, I can definitely say that that is true. Looking really nice, and it does look very natural. I do have to say, I am going to try and build up a little bit in this area right here. And it does build nicely, but I think I need like just a little bit more, like maybe like this much. Not even, that was way too much, but we'll see. And get this in this area right here where I have more to cover. So yeah, it is buildable to Definitely a medium coverage. I can still see some imperfections coming through, but I always say that doesn't bother me in the slightest. I think it just makes everything just look even more natural when it's not completely covered. All right, so this is the side we've applied to, and I can see it starting to get a little bit darker. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see it, but like I said, it doesn't take long for the the oxidization to occur. What do we think about this shade? I think it's a good match, I think. Okay, let's get going on the other side now. One pump as well, and I think you'll be able to see the shade difference from one side to the other since this one has been sitting for a couple of minutes. Can you tell? I can definitely see it in my mirror. Try to keep the lighting lower so that you are able to tell. It's hard because I do film in natural light and sometimes the sun just decides to mess around. I'm going to add a little bit more because I feel like I need to build it up, especially in this area right here. It does have a really nice coverage. Really nice coverage. I enjoyed wearing it yesterday. I thought it looked really, really nice. Very, very lightweight and not drying at all. I really hope you can see this. One side of my face is lighter than the other for now, and it'll catch up, hopefully. I want to take a closer look in the 10 times mirror from hell. It looks very, very smooth. So far, I'm happy with it. Okay, sticky test time. And I feel a very slight tack, but from wearing this yesterday, this will completely dry down, but it won't look dry. I'm having the same experience as I did with the Natasha Denona in terms of the application. The Natasha Denona stays very glowy and takes more time to get to where Mario is at this point. So Mario will dry down more quickly than the Natasha, for sure. I really don't think you need to powder this foundation. However, if you're a powder person who can't go without powder, I do want to powder just the one side, the prime side, just so you can see what it looks like and if it changes the look in any way. I'm going to take the Mario powder, just a little dusting, a very, very light dusting. I haven't powdered anywhere. I haven't powdered under my eyes. So I'm going to powder under my eyes on this side as well. Flip to the fluffier end or the bigger end of this brush and just give it a light dusting. I don't like heavy powders. So it does bring, not that this is a glowy foundation, but obviously the powder is making it look more matte. It does flatten it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Personally, because it's not sticky, I like this side. But, you know, if you prefer a finish to your complexion that's more on this end, this is what it would look like with a light, very light dusting of powder on top. Okay, all right, I'm going to come in close here and show you. This is the primed and powdered side. And this is the non-primed, non-powdered side. I think this foundation looks beautiful, but we shall see as we progress throughout the day. I do, as I mentioned, film in natural light, and I'm going to take this wear test for as long as I possibly can, as long as the daylight allows me. I think I can definitely squeeze in 9 hours today because I got an earlier start, and I will check in again in about 4 or 5 hours. As per usual, when I do a foundation test and wear test, I don't add anything on top just because I want to be able to see as much surface as possible so that I can get a really good idea of how the foundation performs. So I'm not adding anything else to my face, but I do think I need some lipstick. And so I'm going to add a lip liner actually first from Mario as well in the shade Hue. Get that on there. beautiful lip liner, and the shade Hue is so beautiful. And for lipstick, I'm going to use one of Mario's satin lipsticks in the shade South Shore. These are also very nice lipsticks. Beautiful. Beautiful. They're gorgeous. Very nice shades. Okay, I'm going to go do my day and I will check in. All right, we are 5 hours in. The 4-hour mark kind of passed me by. So we're at 5 hours and everything looks really, really good. It hasn't oxidized any further than it did initially. So that is very, very good to know. Everything looks good. Still looks natural. It's still sitting beautifully on the skin. It hasn't faded anywhere. It hasn't settled into any lines. I'm in a 10 times mirror here. I'm really scrutinizing it. It doesn't look overly matte. Again, I do prefer the non-powdered side, but I am going to say that I'm starting to look just a smidge shiny right like in this area right here, and maybe a little bit between my brows, but nothing concerning. I don't see it on the powdered side. Anyway, this is what we're looking like at the 5-hour mark. Again, it hasn't budged. It hasn't moved. Everything looks good, except for I'm seeing a little bit of shine coming through just right here and right here. And that is all. So next time I see you will be for my final check-in, because I don't think we need another one before I can give you my final thoughts on it. And this would be my second wear test on this. And I should mention, I didn't notice these oils yesterday at all. So I don't know what's happening. Anyway, it just could be today that my skin decided to pop out some oils. Again, nothing horrible at all. All right, I'm going to go and I will see you in a flash. Okay, we're now at 9 hours, and yesterday I wore it for 12 hours, so I can tell you that it does wear well. No problems there, even though I don't think they have a claim for that. They have 16-hour hydration, but no claim for being long wear. Regardless, it does wear well. Except today, what I did notice is a little bit of fading on my chin here and a little bit on my nose. This is not something that happened yesterday, only today. So I'm not sure what that's about. It could have been just my own doing, but just something to note. Where I experienced a little bit of shine right here and right between my brows here hasn't progressed. It hasn't gotten any worse. It's exactly where it was when I did my last check-in. But I do think a light dusting of powder would be a good idea with this foundation. Even though I preferred the way that the non-powdered side looked, the powdered side still looks really, really nice. And in terms of primer, I don't think you need a primer for longevity to prolong this foundation, because it wears fine without a primer. But I would use a primer if you use it for any other benefits like pore filling or oil control, etc. So this foundation does look really, really natural. It's very lightweight feeling and looking. It doesn't look heavy or cakey in any way. So it does say that this is for normal, combo, and oily skin types. His other foundation that he released a couple of years ago, that one's geared toward drier skin types. It is a very glowy foundation. I never did try that foundation, so I cannot compare them. As I mentioned, I do have normal skin. If I do get oily, it will be in the T-zone. And as I pointed out, I did get a little bit of oil over here and a little bit here, even though that hasn't happened to me in quite a few months. So not sure what that's about, but it didn't happen where I powdered. So that's why powdering, I think, would be a good idea for this. I do not like that this foundation oxidizes. It may be a deal breaker for you, maybe not. Just know what you're getting, especially when you're choosing a shade. But the oxidization occurs fairly quickly in the beginning and doesn't continue. So once it starts drying down, that's the shade you'll end up with. Something to definitely keep in mind, especially when you're picking shades. And the shade that I chose, 8N, seems to be a good match, but there's something off. And I cannot pinpoint it. Something's off. And it might be just the undertone in this shade. I don't know. Sometimes I would catch glimpses of it in the mirror and think, oh, that looks really great. And other times I would think, oh, is this shade off? Does this look okay? I wasn't sure. So it would depend how the light was hitting me. It's just a strange thing that I can't say for sure that 8N is my shade. And definitely I think it's an undertone thing. I think I might need to go in store and do a little swatcheroos and see if truly this is the best match for me. Sun's really messing with me today. A lot. So overall, I think it looks beautiful. Very, very natural finish. Do I like it more than the Natasha Denona Hy Glam foundation that I just reviewed just a few days ago? No. I like the finish of the Natasha more than this one. But that's not to say that this isn't good. I just prefer the Natasha. So overall, I really do like this foundation. I am going to continue using it over the month of September, and I will definitely update you in a monthly makeup roundup. Please let me know in the comments, is this a foundation that has piqued your interest? Is it something that you think you might try? I love hearing from you in the comments. I'm in there, I'm answering every one of them. And that is it. That is all for this video. I really hope you found it helpful. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram, and I will see you in the next one, hopefully. Bye.